On this week's Jack Swarbrick show, offensive lineman Zack Martin joins the broadcast. The senior from Indianapolis is the 18th two-time captain in Notre Dame football history, and to date, Martin has started 41 straight games on the Irish line.
We're out here with Zack Martin, offensive tackle for the football team. Zack, appreciate you hanging out with us, man. You definitely have got some experience back with you on the offensive line this year with your buddy Chris Watt, Christian Lombard, but you also have a couple of newcomers. You have your brother on the team now, obviously, and then you have Ronnie Stanley as well. Talk about being a fifth-year starter and how much responsibility you feel being able to make this unit mesh.
Well, like you said, I'm lucky. I got some guys back, some experience back, so I'm not the only one. Chris Watt, along with me, is also a fifth-year guy. Lombard is a fourth-year senior, but has some experience, and so it was an easy transition for those new guys coming in, and then having Nick be my brother, and then Ronnie's got some crazy potential, so they fit in right in.
And Sierra Wood and from last year, Theo Riddick are both out the door now. So you have Carlisle coming in, is going to get a lot of carries, and also Atkinson has that pretty special burst. Just touch on the running game and how the rhythm.
Yeah, I think definitely this year it's more kind of a running game by committee. There's 3 or 4 guys that we're confident that can run the football, and George got that home run speed, and then Amir and Cam have been really hard runners. So it's fun to block for all of them, and definitely it's fun having multiple guys being able to run.
You've been playing with Tommy for a couple of years now. You're living with him also. Talk about blocking for Tommy's game and how the aspect of blocking for Everett last year and then being able to block for Tommy when he comes into the game.
Right. It's a little different blocking for a pocket passer and a running quarterback, but the nice thing with Tommy is he's going to be in the pocket. He's going to get rid of the ball quick. So if we can sustain our blocks for 3-4 seconds, the ball is going to be out of his hands, and and we know he's going to make plays.
And you guys have Harry Heastan back for the second year as the offensive line coach. He's got all the experience in the world in college, and then he has 5 years with the Chicago Bears. You're obviously on that track to the NFL as well. Talk about his approach to the game and how that's really benefited you.
Yeah, he's when he got here a couple years ago, it really kind of started the trend of our offensive line being a closer, more physical group, and he's meant so much to us and me also. He's it's very intense on the field, but off the field he's very personal. You can talk to him, and he's a role model and kind of our leader for our group.
And you guys every week on a week-to-week basis, you get the opportunity to go up against the best in the country with Stephon Tuitt and Lewis Nix and Prince Shimbo in practice, and that's every week building up for the game. What kind of an advantage does that give you guys?
Oh, that's huge. Us going against them in camp and in practice every day, it's not to say we won't see guys like them, but it's not going to be a week-to-week basis where we see guys that dominant as those players. So as much reps as we can get them is only going to help us.
Who's the toughest guy in practice?
If you're going size, you go to it. Speed, Prince is pretty quick, and then someone who's just at it every play. Sheldon is pretty, yeah. So it's kind of a combination of all 3 of them coming at you, and you get something different with all of them.
You have quite a few years as a starter under your belt. You've been at this level for a while. Does the game feel like it's starting to slow down for you a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I tell guys too, like Ronnie and Nick, who've just had a couple games, and said, with each game you play, it'll start to make sense. It'll start to slow down a little more, and me and Chris are lucky. We've been out there for the last 4 years, so we've seen pretty much everything that teams can throw at you, and it helps having some veteran guys on the offensive line.
And this year you're somewhat of a rare bird out there, a veteran guy at Notre Dame that has 2 years, two-time captain. Talk about what you know at this time this year that you didn't know last year as far as being a captain on the team.
Well, I think last year when I got voted a captain, I didn't really know how much of an honor it was really, and then going through the year and meeting some former guys and meeting some people that really put it in perspective how much of an honor it was, and then to have a chance to do it again this year and help lead this team is even more of a privilege, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
How fun has it been having your brother on the team?
Yeah, it's awesome. Just to go out there every day, and especially having him out there on the field too, is that I can trust him. I trust all the guys out there, but having your brother out there, I know he's going to do his job, and he knows I'm going to do mine, and it's the first time we've ever been on the field at the same time together, so it's pretty special.
So nothing in high school? You guys were never?
No, he I was a senior and he was a sophomore in high school, and he kind of grew late, so we never really got to play much together that year, and that next year I left was when he kind of started to, play a bunch, so never got anything in high school.
I can remember my freshman year in high school was Austin's senior year.
Right.
And I never touched the gridiron. I'd have to drop my helmet to walk out there. But just being able to, be on the team and be on the sideline and get to hang out with him at practice was always a great time. Are you at all surprised by the success he's had?
I was a little surprised about him moving to center because he's never played center before. So he was always a tackle, and then when he got here, he played a little tackle, played a little guard. And then last year, like at the end during bowl preparation, we were a little thin, so they put him in there at center, and it was just natural to him, and he kind of picked it up, and they kind of went from there. So I was a little surprised in the beginning, but I know he's a competitor and a great player, so I know he could fit in wherever.
And your dad is a football guy too. Played football at the University of Kentucky.
Yep. Actually
coached you a little bit when you were younger. He's a heck of a guy. I sat next to him at the Michigan game last week, and we always have fun conversations with my Kentucky guys. Just give us a sense, if you don't mind, of your guys' post-game discussions, breaking down.
Yeah. He sees it. He's a no kind of BS kind of guy. He sees it like we see it. So he's not one to make you feel good after the game. If you have a few bad plays, he'll make sure to point them out, and so you're getting a little taste of what film may be like right after the game. But he's our biggest fan and biggest supporter, and it's nice having someone that knows football you can talk to after the game.
Yeah, a big part of college football, in my opinion, and really football at all levels, is the younger guys having the opportunity to learn from the older guys, and be able to pick up the culture of the program really from the older guys and the leaders. Talk about some of the mentors that you had through your career here at Notre Dame,
right,
and what you took away from them.
When I first got in, Sam Young was a senior when I was a freshman, and he was great at kind of showing me the ropes. And then my next year, I was a redshirt freshman starting, and I actually was lucky enough to start next to a fifth-year senior, and Chris Stewart, who's still around going to law school. But he was he had a huge impact on me, and really kind of showed me the ropes, and I'm kind of indebted to him.
Are there any of the younger guys that you feel like you've kind of flipped the script and become that role for them?
We're trying with whenever they come in, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that myself and Watt and some of the older guys are, but Ronnie Stanley and Steve Elmer and Hunter Bibb and all those freshmen that we're trying to show them what it takes, and also leave a little bit so when we leave they know they can take over and know what it takes to be an offensive lineman here at Notre Dame.
I heard Tommy Reese say the best thing that ever happened to Christian Lombard was Zack Martin. How much do you feel that?
It's again another thing is just trying to show guys what it takes to be out there and to prepare and to be a good player, and that's something that we worked with Christian, and he's obviously responded to that, and he's going into his second year starting, so he's done a great job, and we've just trying to help him with that since day one.
Is there some kind of a little bit of fraternity with the offensive linemen? Do you guys spend a little bit more time together?
Yeah, I would definitely say the closest group on the field by far, and then having Coach Stan, and that's his, the number one on his philosophy of coaching the offensive line is have to have a close unit that's always together. Yeah. So we're definitely the closest group on the field. I'm definitely, I live with Watt, I'm right next door to Christian. My little brother's on the team, so we're all together.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
right there.
That's awesome.
Just a couple games into the season, what do you see as this team's biggest area of improvement so far?
I just think consistency. We have the players and the coaches, and just being able to be consistent, execute. We know we have all the tools to be successful, and and not only execute but execute in pressure situations. So, I'm confident in this team, and I know the guys are confident, and we're looking forward to the long haul.
Absolutely, and you grew up in Indianapolis, so as a Hoosier State guy, talk about the Purdue rivalry this week. What is this game going to mean?
Yeah, this one's huge because I have a ton of friends who graduated from Purdue and who played at Purdue. So this one's a big one for me, and a lot of friends have already texted me this week and kind of talking some crap and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fun because being in Indiana, you get recruited real heavily from both schools and get to know coaches and players. So this one's going to be fun.
Absolutely, Zach. Really appreciate you taking some time. Best of luck this year, man.
Appreciate it.
Dave, back to you.